Like Purdue, it's just an example. Purdue losing to Fresno State is okay. We can still win the Big Ten West. But me,
Billy Napier gets fired. I'm just kidding.
hey, really the best time of the year. I will be seated watching Red Zone for 7 hours on Sunday.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an episode of Backyard Banter. Johnny, James, Tanner, like we talked about last week, this is a shorter than normal video that we're going to do. Check us out on Shorts. We'll have a few grids up on there as long as other shorts. But yeah, we're going to go right into some rapid-fire college basketball picks. T-Stir, lay them out.
Yeah, we got another weekend slate coming up for us. Houston, ranked second in the country, travels to Baylor. Baylor ranked 11th. This is one of those weird games. Houston's coming off kind of a couple big wins in a row, and Baylor's coming off a road loss to BYU. So, one team's riding high, one team's at home coming off a loss. I like Baylor. That place is going to be nuts. Baylor's still got a really good team. They got Ray J. Dennis.
He's really good, yeah.
Houston, another really good team, but like I said, this is a road game for Houston. Baylor, the place can be ready to go, and I just think Houston's coming off 2 emotional wins, and I don't know. I think they're gonna have a little bit of a letdown here, so I'm gonna take Baylor.
Yeah, I don't dislike that. You talk about the home matchup, right? When you get a game at home, it means so much.
Yeah.
But the Big 12, there's a couple teams in the Big 12, and Baylor's one of them for me that it's just inconsistent play, and maybe that's due to this, how good the Big 12 is. I don't know, but like BYU has shown, and they just played against Baylor. They've shown ups and downs. Who bottom of the rankings and everything. Baylor again, one of those teams who has a ton of talent. Right, they're very well coached. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go and take care of business with Houston. But I think Houston's legit. I think they have had 2 emotional wins, but I think they're emotional wins because they're just really, really good. I think Houston is legit. I think they're the number 2 team in the country. Like I said in the last pod, I think they take care of Baylor, but I think it's going to be a really exciting game. So excited for another good Big 12 matchup.
Yeah, I got Houston. I think Shedd's the best point guard in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And defense travels. Offense doesn't necessarily travel every week, but their defense does. And there's no better defensive team in the country, at least by the eye test, than Houston.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't mind those picks. I think Houston definitely the better team here, but
it's hard to win on the road.
It's
hard,
hard
100%, especially in the Big 12. And like you said, when you have these good teams that lose, they don't drop a ton in a row.
Houston hasn't won one of these games yet in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So, they lost at Kansas. They haven't won a big Baylor's ranked in the top 15 road game yet, but they're an older team, veteran team. Sampson's one of the best coaches in the country. Shedd's one of the best point guards. Yeah, I think they get it done.
Yeah.
Some more games here. UNC at Virginia. Virginia's kind of fighting right now, just trying to stay in that tournament field. Carolina's been so inconsistent the last couple weeks. But this is at Virginia, so what do you guys think about this?
I think Carolina takes care of them. I think you look at the Virginia game. I was really intrigued with the Virginia Tech game. They traveled to Virginia Tech. Obviously, it's a rivalry game, whatever. They lost by 34 points, I think. And that's a ton. And in the ACC, which is not very good, Virginia was hot, and then next thing you know, they lose to Pitt, right? They lose to Pitt. They lose to Virginia Tech by 30. I think Carolina's legit. I think they're a very good team that can make a run, and so that's why I'm gonna stick with Carolina.
Very simple. Virginia's going to have to score more than 65 points to win. They probably won't score more than 65 points. They scored 41 against Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Talking about best point guards, you got R.J. Davis, who's a stud, probably the best point guard in the ACC. Definitely the best point guard in the ACC.
Yeah.
I think North Carolina, who has struggled playing at Virginia in their history, kind of takes care of business.
Yeah, I'm going to take Carolina as well. I think Virginia it's the lack of scoring for me that I just can't see them winning a game like this because they can't score enough.
Yeah.
Defensively, obviously, they can be pretty good, but
Sure.
You got to be able to score the ball too. So I'm taking Carolina. I think Carolina can win comfortably, actually.
I agree. Yeah.
Bama at Kentucky, 2 ranked teams. Kentucky coming off a loss to LSU. Bama coming off an overtime win against Florida. That was a great game. Both teams I thought looked really good in that one. Bama might be the most dangerous 3 seed I've seen in a while because I don't think they're going to end up getting a 2, but they're going to be a 3.
But the one quick note, I watched Bama a few times. They're feast or famine.
Yeah.
They chucked up 18 3-pointers in the first half, made 2 of them. only shot 8 in the second half and made 5 of them.
Yeah.
They're feast or famine, and they don't try to guard anyone. And teams like that don't win in March. And that's why the teams with Brandon Miller, and they won the SEC a few years ago, that's why they don't make it past the Sweet 16. And Marcus Sears, I think personally, is a little overrated. I texted Tanner last night. He's the second best guard on the floor. And I thought he was. These two teams are very similar in the fact that Kentucky, just like Florida, just like Alabama, gets out in transition, gets out in offense. Both teams are, again, top 3 in scoring in the SEC. Rob Dillingham is playing like one of the best players in the country, so is Reed Shepherd. God, Kentucky needs a home win, don't they?
They need a home win.
They need a home win.
Yeah.
And I think Bama was honestly lucky to beat Florida. The officiating was very questionable in that game. Florida still should have won. So I'm going to go with Kentucky.
Yeah.
I just think Reed Shepherd might be one of the most underrated players in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the quietest 25 last night, and God, he's just so solid all the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love Kentucky here. I think Dillingham, like you said, he's one of my favorite freshmen in the country to watch.
Yeah.
He is made for like playing at this level and doing exceptionally well. You knew he was going to do exceptionally well when he got to Kentucky, and now he's coming off that bench role, right? And he's just hooping. Like that's what he did. They lost yesterday.
Legit 3
They lost yesterday, but at the same time, I think he had 23
23
points.
He had, the last 5-7 points?
Yeah, so he's just tough. He can go get you a bucket, and I think that's what Kentucky has. I think they have good guards, right? And they're big enough to where they can win. And there's no way they lose another game in Rupp. I'm not convinced they lost 3 in a row at home.
Yeah.
I don't think they drop another one at home, and I don't know what their future schedule looks like. But I watched a little bit of the Bama-Florida game yesterday. I thought the way Florida was going to win that game was to slow Bama down, and they kind of did because of the fact that Bama did not shoot the ball well at all. But like you said, they don't want to guard anybody.
Yeah.
You look at, like you said, Brandon Miller was a great example. Great scorer, right? But that's all they have at Bama. They're just a good scorer. So I love Kentucky here. I think Kentucky's built to win in March. I'm not saying they're going to win a national championship, but I think this team is good enough to make a run, and I think they're going to take care of business at home.
I mean, I'm going to take Bama, but real quick on Kentucky, they have so many questionable losses, and if it was certain programs that had a different name than Kentucky that was losing those games, not only would they be an AC, but people would be calling them frauds. And the only reason they're not is because their name's Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm out on Kentucky.
I don't think under any circumstance, unless Kentucky runs the table and wins the SEC, should they be a 4 seed or higher, 5 seed or higher. They're a 6 seed, and they're a dangerous 6 seed. And one more note on Marcus Sears, I say he's overrated. He should be SEC Player of the Year. He's still a top 3-point guard in the country. And he hit 2 huge shots last night against Florida, back-to-back. Technically 3, he's had a foot in the line for the other one, but... Yeah, I mean, expect another. I mean, Florida, what that game finished, 99, 95, something like that. Expect another Kentucky-Bama game just like that.
It was such a good line, though. The under was so free until it went into overtime.
And then, but the way to beat Alabama is to not have live ball turnovers. They're one of the best transition teams in the country. Let's see if the freshmen in Kentucky can limit those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take Bama in this game.
Yeah. Good game, though.
I would also like to say this again. I said it a couple weeks ago. I think Bama is... They're going to make a run in the tournament. They're so reminiscent of the 2019 Purdue team to me, where they just have athletic, undersized kind of guards, and then they also have like a big that can move pretty well, and then they have a guard that can score from anywhere and can score 40 points on any given night.
But I guarantee you that Purdue team guarded better than
Alabama
did. They're. I mean, Alabama consistently gives up 85, 90 points, and you don't win in March like that.
Well, and if you see Bama as a 3 seed, whatever it might be,
you don't want to see them.
No. But it's not even that. But they're going to run into a higher seed team who's going to also want to score the ball and obviously maybe defend a little bit better, because that's my concern. In March, Johnny loves defense, but in March, that's what wins you national championships.
Like Houston would eat Alabama alive.
Yeah.
Well. This is kind of what I wanted to point out with Bama as being a dangerous 3 seed, is there is 2 teams in the country that can beat Bama when Bama's hitting shots. It's Purdue and UConn. Yeah. Bama hit 19 threes against Purdue, and Purdue still won. Yeah. They're not going to see a Purdue or UConn until the Elite Eight as a 3 seed.
Yeah, you're not going to see a dominant I
think they're going to make that run.
Maybe. But at the same time, like Johnny said, they're going to have to shoot well at a neutral site, and obviously I think this team can do it with how loaded they are. But I mean,
I don't think they can do it for 4 straight games.
That's the thing. I think I have them going to round of 32, maybe sneaking into the Sweet 16, but I don't have them going further than that.
Depends on matchups.
Yeah.
Fourth game up, I kind of wanted to show the Mountain West some love. If you're not watching the Mountain West in 2024, I think you're missing out on some of the best college basketball there is. These are some really good, high-level, quality games. And if you're not watching them, then I'm sorry, you're just missing out. Colorado State goes to UNLV this Saturday night. UNLV is playing really well right now. Kind of sneaky in that Mountain West tournament. They could make a run, maybe steal a bid. The running Rebels could. Colorado State's ranked, coming off a loss at New Mexico. I'm going to take UNLV. I think this can be kind of an upset. The running Rebels are on fire. They're playing so well right now. And Mountain West teams at home just don't lose.
Yeah, that's one thing you told me yesterday. Mountain West teams don't lose at home. So I'll also take UNLV at home.
Yeah, sure, I'll stick with it. I'm not as big of a Mountain West fan as Tanner is here, but personally because I don't think it's the best basketball to watch. I think there's a conference called the Big East that is undoubtedly the best conference to watch in basketball. But, hey, I'm always for turning on the TV at 10:30 at night and there's something to watch. So, but, yeah, I guess I'll go with UNLV as a consensus backyard banner vote. So
yeah, I like that. I like that everybody's on the running Rebels.
Sure, there we go.
And then we're going to go to Sunday, last game here, Creighton at St. John's. Kind of the reason I put this in here, Creighton coming off that big win against UConn. Emotional high. I mean, it doesn't get higher than that for Creighton. St. John's needs a win desperately like this. I'm going to take the Red Storm. I'm going to take St. John's. I think they have to have this game. It makes too much sense. They're at home. Creighton coming off that big win. It makes too much sense for me. I'm going to take St. John's. But
I like Creighton here. I think that win against UConn is so impressive. And again, you don't know how these 19, 20-year-olds are going to react. It's such a high when you beat that one team in the country. But I think they take care of business at St. John's. St. John's, very inconsistent in the Big East. You look at what they did a month ago when they played Marquette at home, almost beat them, had a shot at the buzzer to beat them. But now it's just maybe falling off the track. But Creighton's legit. They're well coached. They have every kind of player. They have guards. They have a big. They are built for the Big East in particular, but they're also built to maybe make a run in March. And I'm all in on the Blue Jays, so I like Creighton here.
I think Creighton gets an advantage to have an extra day of rest. So St. John's really kind of struggled against Georgetown last night. I like Creighton. They can beat you in so many different ways. They got 3-4 guys that can score 20 on any given night. And St. John's, again, too much up and downs for me. I like your point. I said it makes too much sense for them to win. I agree with that to an extent. It feels like Rick Pitino kind of wins this game. Mm-hmm. But Creighton's playing really good ball right now, so I'm a big Creighton.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't hate that because Creighton's clearly the better
it's
team.
A game.
Yeah.
But I just, coming off a big win, it'll be interesting to see how they look, for sure.
Those are our college basketball picks. Quickly, Tanner, I know you have some gripes with the Chicago Bears and the way they're handling Justin Fields, so sum it up for us real quick.
Yeah, real quickly, for those that don't know, the Bears want to go public about their decision at quarterback next week, which to me makes zero sense at all because they haven't even met with a quarterback prospect yet. Like, they haven't even met face-to-face with any of these guys that they would potentially draft. So I find it kind of weird that they're doing this, but the Bears are a weird organization. That's what you said off camera.
Yeah.
And I agree 100%, but Mike Florio kind of made this point. If they're going to make their decision now, when they haven't even really fully evaluated the quarterbacks, don't you think that means they're keeping Justin Fields? Whether or not he's right or wrong, nobody knows. The only man that knows is Ryan Poles, but I just think it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Something to look out for. Next week, I'm pretty sure it's the Combine, so that's why they could be making that decision.
My other question to that is, are they making that opinion because they're now going to open up the trading block and say, okay, we're sticking with Fields, now send in your offers for the one?
Right.
That's all I can think about.
That's all I can think about, too, with them making
agree.
that decision next week.
I agree.
We'll see. We'll wait and see. Trivia time. James, defending champion. How do you feel?
Concerned. Very concerned. I think I'm going to let the fans at home disappointed. I'm going to leave them disappointed probably. But who knows?
Mayo texted us this morning, maybe a little precursor of what we're doing, to send us the team that we think we know the most about. So Mayo, go ahead.
And Tanner took my team, by the way. I feel like, obviously it was first come, first serve. We're the fans of the same team, but I feel like maybe I'm at a disadvantage. So maybe my live odds are a little higher than normal, but
yes. So
people
something
are
that's
openly betting on
yes, of course.
Something that's different today. You guys are not competing against each other. You're just playing for your pride as a fan.
Thank God. So I can't lose.
Yeah.
Well, you can lose.
I could lose.
You could disappoint,
the Bears.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
Bears. So Tanner's team is the Cubs. James the Bears. Johnny the Florida Gators. So there are 5 questions. I think each one increases in difficulty, and if you can complete all 5, I would say you're a very strong fan.
Let's go. It's exciting.
Some questions may be harder for others, but you all have the same questions. So starting, we'll go down the line. Tanner, James.
I'm so nervous.
If you miss the first question, I think you should not be on the podcast anymore.
Valid.
Dude, don't say it.
There we go.
All right.
Let's go.
Tanner, name of the stadium.
Wrigley Field.
There we go.
Soldier Field.
Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Steve Spurrier Field.
Yes. We're legit. We're not frauds.
Dude, for some reason, when I was thinking of the Bears when I was making this, I thought of Lambeau.
Oh.
That's that's satanic.
Would have been
That's
tough.
satanic right there.
All right. Tanner, when was the last championship your team won?
2016.
Now, James.
Yeah.
Last time the Bears were in the Super Bowl.
Bro.
Devin Hester.
Yeah, but I wanted last time we won.
Do it.
1985.
The 85 season.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, for mine...
I mean, what was it?
So
Last time you guys won.
So, Florida won. It was the
2004?
08 season, but it was technically January 09.
2006 season, 07.
So,
Correct.
whatever. Yeah, that.
Colts?
Okay.
Those are the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the See, James just messed it up. Okay, who was the MVP of your team when they won that championship?
Like the league MVP or the World Series
No,
MVP?
World Series MVP.
Was Ben Zobrist.
James?
Yeah.
Ray Legend Benson.
You ask me the question you want me to answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In the 2005-2006 Super Bowl, 2 players scored. Who were those players?
I already said the first one.
Devin Hester.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good question.
Rex Grossman tossed him a little 4-yarder.
Rex Grossman, Bears legend.
I might.
Devin Hester. So okay.
Correct.
Dude, you gotta understand. I'm calibrating right now. Rex Grossman threw it. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to guess.
MM.
Do anything for you?
That should do something for me.
It's man.
My
That's a tough
my
one.
gears are turning.
No, it's a tough one. MM.
Say the name. I don't care.
Muhsin Muhammad?
Muhammad, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard the name, but would never have gotten there.
You're going to keep playing, though. You're going to keep playing.
Yeah. I'll take it. It's all
Johnny,
right.
What's mine?
MVP.
Of the 08.
Of
Which
the
one?
Gators.
Offense or defense? There was
Offense.
2. Okay, so Tim Tebow threw 2 interceptions in that game, and I think Percy Harvin had 2 touchdowns. But Tebow is such like the easy answer. I don't know, but I'll go with Tebow.
Correct.
It should have been Percy Harvin. I was actually at the game. Me and my father.
What?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was
6
6 years old, and me and my
Jeez.
dad. I remember it vividly.
That's
I
I
so
saw
sick.
it right in front of me. Tebow did the jump pass to David Nelson to seal the game.
And then did he do the?
No.
the
He did.
Wow,
I don't
that's
even know
sick.
what he did. He was just.
That's sick.
He said.
Hey,
That's what he
yeah.
did.
Wow. Wow.
When was the second to last time your team won a championship?
1908.
These questions are
such
so
a long
easy.
time.
So long.
Same for you, James.
Bro, it was a long time ago.
Definitely wasn't a Super Bowl. One of those NFL championships.
I mean, they've won a lot of NFL championships.
They've won 9.
That's a tough one. That's a tough question.
So, like, this is pre when they won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the Super Bowl started
It's
in.
an NFL championship. It's an insane question.
Yeah.
It is an insane
You drew the
question.
short stick on this
Yeah.
one.
That's fine.
Give him a year range.
60s.
Yeah.
Bottom 60s.
I can.
1 to 5. Not 1.
60...
Not 5.
63.
Bang!
Boom!
Come on.
Let's go. See, like, that's tough. I mean, I respect it, but whatever. Like, I know the Bears have been to the playoffs, an average amount of times,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Which one's my question?
When was the second to
Feel
last
like
time your
that.
team won a
what? It
championship?
doesn't feel like
So
that.
the 06,
It's been a
07
while.
season.
2018.
Correct. All right, you and Tanner are both in the finals. James, you're close. You've only missed half a point.
Yeah.
With a couple hints.
You've had tough questions though. Those
I
are-
would love his questions. I mean, I would have looked like Cubs genius.
The thing is, I think I could have gotten all the Bears ones.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's all right.
You probably could have.
All right, Tanner. So these are all-time stat leaders. So for the Cubs, who has the most strikeouts in team history with 1,815?
For pitching.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like, who struck
Man,
out for us 1,000?
This could come down to like 3 guys, maybe 4. So.
Yeah, last one's tough.
Well,
Easy for James.
You think so?
Yeah, this one's easy.
I mean, Maddox
You gotta
didn't
stop saying that.
play on the Cubs that long. Kerry Wood kind of did. And he
Fired.
struck out a lot of people.
20.
But then you got the 2 older ones from the 60s and 80s.
Carey's the one that jumps to my mind. But
I just don't think he was always hurt. I just don't think
I don't know if he played long enough.
played long enough.
You want a little hint?
Yeah.
He's gonna say it's.
Is he
not
one of the
Carey.
Hall of Famers?
Think, like, here's what my help will be. Like, legend. Like, legend. Like, you know I don't watch baseball and I knew the name.
Oh,
Probably the first dude.
are we missing a name?
Maybe he wasn't, like, let me double check. I feel like y'all should know this.
Are we missing a name?
Is he recent? Like, as in this century?
So, let me preface, like, they didn't have to play their whole career on the Cubs.
Oh. John Lester.
No. Sammy Sosa.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Strikeout-
pitching.
strikeouts.
I thought you meant
Oh,
pitching.
did I say it wrong?
Sammy Sosa was a hitter.
No, yeah.
I thought you meant
we
like,
thought we were a pitcher.
Oh, my bad. Did I misspeak?
No, it's all
My
good.
bad. That's
when you
my
said
bad.
strikeouts, I meant like throwing.
I'm like, Sammy Sosa was
Oh.
pitching 1,000
Oh,
Ks
yeah.
too.
I tweaked for
Those
a second.
roids were really helping
My
him.
fault, my
No, it's
fault.
all
I
good.
said it.
That question.
And if it was hitting, I would have said Javier Baez.
That's better.
All right,
He didn't have enough at bats.
James,
What's up?
for the Bears, most passing yards. 23,443.
Jay Cutler.
Correct.
Yeah, why was I overthinking that one? Don't know why. We just
Johnny?
did an NFL quarterback grid last week.
Most passing yards
Oh my God.
in program history.
See,
11,213.
okay, so Rex Grossman actually went to Florida, and but it's either Danny Warfel, Rex Grossman.
Hey, if you miss this, we all tie, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So I actually get half a point higher.
Did he play like in the 90s? Can I get a hint?
I'll give you a hint. 2000s.
2000s, Rex Grossman. Or no, you said no.
He locked it in. He locked in the answer.
I did lock it in. I was gonna say
Chris Leak.
Chris Leak.
Chris Leak.
Okay,
Really?
he wasn't gonna get there.
2003 to 06, 11,200.
I never would have guessed that. I know. I knew he was a 4-year
think
starter,
I-
but I never would have guessed
I
that.
think I won.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say Tanner won, but because I kind of messed up his question.
I mean,
He
it's
got
all good.
4 right, and I got 4.5 right, and he got 4 right. Therefore, statistically, I.
How about we all win?
You
we
all
all
did
went.
good.
Backyard
You all did
banner.
good. You all did
I
good.
would say we're all
Chris-
fans of the respected
Chris
teams.
Leak, he's crazy.
I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is.
He was the quarterback when they won their first championship in 06. He like Tebow's the backup. He was so mid. No hate to Chris Leak. He come on.
Fire.
No, he was really good. Anyway, if you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to look out for the shorts. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Twitter too. We'll have the shorts posted on there by tomorrow. And if you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe. Send it to someone. My mom even says send it to your grandma. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See ya.
Peace.